Hey YouTube, the Haitian mommy here, and I know that I look a hot mess, but I'm really tired. I had to hesitate to do this video. But anyways, this is gonna be a video about how I told my parents, how I found out, and how I told the father to my kids that I was pregnant. So I really don't know. Like it's gonna be really short because I mean nothing really big went on, but um like when I missed my period, I didn't really think much of it because I was, waiting for my birth control, and I was yeah, just waiting on my birth control. And so I also have irregular cycles, so some months I can go without getting my cycle, and some months I'll get my cycle. So that's why that was one of the reasons why I was on birth control, was to help regulate my cycle. So when I missed it, I didn't think much of it because I was waiting for a refill, and it was a couple of weeks. Yeah, it was some weeks that I haven't taken it. Taken it. So I really didn't think much of it. I was just like, well, maybe you know it's still flushing out my body, and I guess my period is all messed up. So, um, my baby's father, like I said in my other videos, he knew before I knew that I was pregnant. And he kept saying, oh yeah, go take a pregnancy test, go take a pregnancy test, go take a pregnancy test. And I'm like, I'm not pregnant, I'm not pregnant, you know? And then, um, so one day he came to my job, and he was like, have your period came? And it was like 2 days after I had missed my period. And I was like, no, it hasn't came yet, but I'm not really worried about it. So then, like, he just gave me the money, and I was on my lunch break. So I went into Walmart and I took the pregnancy test, and it came out positive. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's all I could say is, oh my gosh, in the restroom. And so I was like, wow, do I have something growing inside of my stomach? So I just took a deep breath, and then I just went out or whatever. And he was just waiting right there. And so, like, he was like, so what did it say? And I was like, well, it came out positive. And he was like, at first I was hesitating. And I was just like, look, I don't want to talk about this right now. I'm at work. I don't want to stress myself out or anything like that. But, yeah. So then he kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. And so I was like, it came out positive. And like, I knew from there, like, he wasn't, really all that, happy, like, oh my gosh, whatever. So, um, he went and got my best friend that, I was working with, and, he was telling her, oh, well, don't talk her into keeping this child, and he was just saying a lot of negative things to her. And of course, she's one of my good friends, so she came back and told me. And so after that, like, he came and told me, he was like, well, um, I'm gonna, your friend is gonna give you some pills to take, and, she's gonna, like, make the baby flush out of your body, whatnot. And I'm like, are you stupid? Do you actually think I'm about to have an abortion because you don't want this child? You know? So I was just like, after that, me and him just went downhill, you know. And now he's going around saying, "Oh well, my kids, my kids, my kids." It's not his kids because he hasn't been to an ultrasound. He hasn't been to a doctor's appointment. He hasn't. He hasn't done none of that. But at the same time, he's saying, "My kids, my kids." He wants to name them, and I guess all of a sudden he's liking them, but he's trying to leave the country. Whatever. I don't even care. I mean, I regret having sex with him, but I don't regret, you know, my children because that's my life now, and I have to, you know, accept that, and I love my kids to death. Um, Now on to how I told my mom. I really didn't tell my mom until I was out of my first trimester, around like 13 weeks. Well, in October, like the beginning of October, that's when I told her. And I had to tell her over the phone because the guilt was just so bad. And I told her, and then after that, like she was just calm. You know, sometimes she just throws it in my face. Oh yeah, you're pregnant. But she's just calm about it. She don't really, like she didn't scream or yell at me. And that's what I was afraid of. And I thought that she was gonna kick me out. But, you know, people tell me that I'm a strong person because, you know, I've gone this far, you know. I mean, there's nothing more to say about that. Like, it's just really hard. You know, people, I, I have support, but I just don't have the support that I need for me to be like super happy. But I mean, I'm hanging on, I'm living with it. But when my kids get here, it's gonna be all the best. You know, they're growing in my stomach, they're moving around. That's all that matters, you know. And I thank God that He blessed me with two beautiful little girls. And that's about it. I said this video was gonna be short, but I guess it's almost 8 minutes long. But that's technically it. That's how I told my baby's father. That's how I told my mom. You know, and still most people don't know that I'm pregnant. But it's all good though. I guess I have YouTube supporters, and thank you for supporting me, you know, through this journey. And yeah, so I guess I will talk to you later, and I'm gonna try to make more videos. Okay, bye YouTube.